fullback with the first and goal. Kuhn gets the ball. Pyle trying to make his way in for the touchdown. What a great second effort.
Y'all don't really want it like that. Here comes the here comes the here comes the y'all don't really want it like that. E-double-L. I said so. I keep big bills up in my heart on the dirty like blood. So ain't got no twist in my head, but I'm still dreadful.
Wolf pack, what is going on? Week 10 is here. The playoff pushes are getting more and more intense. The competition's tighter. The margin for error is less. We are ready to rip it up here live as always for your Sunday tailgate, answering all your sit-start questions, catching up on all the news you need to know. And there is a ton of it. I kind of checked out yesterday and had a day up in Portland. It was awesome. Just kind of needed a break from football. And then I woke up this morning early, and thank God I did, because there was a million things I did not expect this week. So we have a lot to cover, my man, CJ. How you doing, though, this week, brother?
Not too bad. How about you?
Good. I mean, great week, great weekend up in Portland. It was very nice.
Hey, it feels a little fall outside now.
Exactly. Nice and crisp air. It's not 70 degrees summer anymore, which I would still take any day of the week. But it's a nice day today. Pumped about it. Perfect football weather to get these Week 10 wins. Wolfpack, wherever you're at, too. If you don't mind hitting that thumbs up button, YouTube, Periscope, Facebook, our crew, it helps us get discovered. And any shares, of course, even bigger to get us out to new audiences. Means the world. Thank you so much, too. And as you guys know, we will get to all your questions. It takes about 15, 20 minutes to rip through these notes. And we have a lot of them today, but I will get through them as fast as I can because there's some really important ones that are going to change a lot of our questions. That might change the questions you have. So even if you ask an earlier question, if you hear a nugget, you're like, oh, shit, now let me ask about my Ravens situation because Mark Ingram's playing. Get those in too. So hopefully these notes, we'll get through them as fast as we can, and hopefully they inform your questions that much more. We already have 21 in here. I love it. Let's keep it piling up. We've hit over 200 the back-to-back weeks. I think actually every single week this season pretty much. So let's keep it rolling, Wolfpack. We love spending our Sunday morning.
200 is now the floor.
Exactly, right? Our floor. We've really become a top three, number 3 overall tier with 200 questions minimum. I love it. Let's hit 500.
Hey,
my mind will explode.
Give me a tight end to score this week.
A tight end? I like Austin Hooper a lot. CJ's getting his props ready. So while he's finishing those up, I will rip through these notes. I'll bounce back and forth any intriguing questions that we get to. But yeah, let's just rip through some of this news. Wolfpack, as known, Christian McCaffrey's not going to play. This is not unexpected. This has been the kind of what the news has been all week, but he'll be out. Just bringing it up again because Mike Davis is 4,000 on DraftKings. Everybody's going to play Mike Davis. I mean, 57% projected ownership right now, as it should be. A featured back getting 20 touches at 4K is a lock. If you're trying to pivot away, maybe like a Jalen Reagor or I don't know. It's hard to get away from it. Maybe you pay up to Duke Johnson level. But Mike Davis is just one of those guys that's going to be in every lineup. And if you fade him and he doesn't do so much, he only had 8 points last week. It could be a huge leg up in DFS. It's just tricky to recommend that at any point. But the good news is C-Mac did get a second opinion. He is realistic for week 11. That still has a lot of owners and binds that are in win now mode, such as myself. I actually just sent Christian McCaffrey away. I got Nick Chubb and Justin Herbert in return. I didn't have a good quarterback situation. I don't think it's a horrible haul. CJ, grade my trade. I know we grade trades all day. What's the Nick Chubb and Herbert for C-Mac in your opinion? If you need the wins.
Well, yeah, that's the thing is that you need to win this week.
Yeah.
So I mean that's kind of a no-brainer on your side, but I mean just in general, I probably wouldn't love it just because I'm not really a Nick Chubb guy myself. But I mean, you need to win. You can't just have McCaffrey on your bench doing nothing for you. And especially if you don't have Davis, then you're kind of fucked.
Exactly. I don't have Davis at all. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't do the deal. I mean, McCaffrey a lock for 25. He hasn't scored less than 25 this year, more often 30. So it's tough to ship him away. But what if, the week 13 bye is in consideration there? It's I already, I still have to weather his bye if I keep him. What if they rest him through the bye? There's so many things that go into McCaffrey, and I just don't have margin for these risks anymore. So yeah, I made the trigger. Plus, Chubb gets Houston today. I'll just jump to that note. Why not? He is back. And I think he could run for 150 and 2. Now, maybe they ease him in. I don't know. We'll find out. But they were really playing it cautious with him. They took it down to the wire. He met with the doctors. He shed his brace. They said he looked like Nick in practice. it seems to me like Chubb is back, and I don't see why on a rainy day. We're going to cover some weather in a little bit. Rainy, windy, gross, just ground and pound type of day. Perfect reunion against the worst run D in the league. Most rushing yards allowed to, obviously to running backs, most rushing yards, just at second in fantasy points allowed to backs. So yeah, it's just a smash spot for Nick Chubb in his return this week. He's not the only stud returning. Miles Sanders will be back, also right in my top 7 running backs for the week facing the Giants. Only 6,400 on DraftKings, another great play. Chubb's coming in at 2% ownership, it looks like, on DraftKings. I kind of love to smash that. A lot of people worry he might be eased in, and he very well could be a very legitimate concern. But even on just 15 carries, this run D is so bad. So I love him as like a nice tournament pivot away from a James Robinson, who's going to be great. But ultimately, this could be a way to diversify your lineups just a little bit. In terms of other studs out, Carlos Hyde, not a stud, but Chris Carson certainly is. They're both out.
So Hyde a little respect.
Yeah, please. They're going to be out versus the Rams, and this is probably going to be a shootout, so it's not like the running backs are going to be that crazy anyways, but they still are getting 12 to 15 touches, DJ Dallas, and when you get 12 to 15 touches in the league's number 1 offense, I don't care how bad you are or how inefficient you are, you're going to probably fall into the end zone. So he's right back into my top 20. He's 5,100 on DraftKings. If you want to pivot away from Duke Johnson of that nature, he's going to be very high owned, it looks like today. DJ Dallas right back in there. Travis Homer, like desperation toss out for PPR leagues, but much more into DJ Dallas. Are you into the Seahawks backfield at all, CJ?
I feel like DJ Dallas is just like a touch. He's an automatic touchdown at least. Mm-hmm. And then Homer did better than him last week, I would say. In terms of total yardage, yes.
I
don't know neither, so I don't really care about it, but it's yeah, I mean, I feel comfortable with either of them, honestly.
Homer for the real desperate. DJ Dallas is 40% owned or so he's not sitting there for you on waiver wires most likely, but Travis Homer might. There are a few desperation streamers at running back I like a little bit more, and again, questions about any of these guys, get them on in. But I like Dallas the most for sure. Top 20 play. Other streamers in that, let's cover these guys real quick. Mixon's going to be out, so you got another top 20 week for Gio Bernard, number 13 in my running back rankings, like automatics, 15 to 18 points. Love him at 5,400. David Montgomery, disgusting blob of shit, is not going to be ruining lineups this week.
You're a donut, man.
What'd you say?
You're a donut, man.
Exactly, the donut, the Krispy Kremes, the empty calories, just the worst piece of usage. But that does line up, for the truly desperate. Cordarrelle Patterson will likely be starting at running back, but he's a wide receiver in fantasy. He's 7% owned. If you have a desperate wide receiver hole to fill or a flex question, I mean, he's also good for revenge game narrative against Minnesota too. So there's worse stabs at upside than Cordarrelle Patterson. I don't know that he's going to blow up. I don't think he will, to be honest. But you're going to get touches against his former team. That's also a pretty generous team. You could do worse than Cordarrelle Patterson this week with David Montgomery out. But we've hinted at Duke Johnson. We've talked about him just a few times here. That's because David Johnson has a concussion, also on the IR now. So that's intriguing in the sense that you're going to get 3 weeks of Duke. It's not just a 1 week plug-in. I don't know what to make of this because it's a great
all the truthers are coming themselves right now.
Yes, exactly. There's a lot of Duke truthers out there. We were a Duke truther last year. That did not pan out for us. Because Carlos Hyde got signed 2 days before freaking season starts, and it's handing him 250 fucking carries.
Yeah.
But this, if it's ever going to happen, this is it. We've got 3 weeks. Their next man up, I think, is CJ Procise, Buddy Howell, and Gillespie. What the fuck's Gillespie? It sounds like a fucking STD. Like, I mean, I've literally no fucking clue who Gillespie is. No clue. Literally no fucking clue. So ultimately, this is like Duke's going to get all the work he can handle at this point. He's got 3 weeks to prove. Like, everybody's been clamoring, let's get Duke a featured role somewhere, please. This will be his chance to prove it. And volume is the lifeblood of fantasy, especially at the running back position. So ultimately, it's top 15 play for me. I think I have him at running back 14, right below Gio Bernard. So Duke Johnson questions, flex questions involving Duke Johnson, fire him on up, get those ones in. Because this, we knew David Johnson was going to be out this week, but now we're going to really get a 3 week span. I got Duke Johnson for like $3 on the waiver wire. Nobody, went in hard on him. And I'm pretty pumped now. Like, he's my kind of fill-in. I have McCaffrey in a few leagues. He's the bridge to McCaffrey coming back. I'm excited about it. I don't know. What do you think about Duke Johnson beyond just volume? Like, do you think he's going to do anything?
I mean, I don't know if I'm a fan of his talent. I mean, I think at this point, like, he's been around for so long that he had to have, like, broken out at some point. I know he hasn't gotten the touches, but I don't know. It's just like an interesting time period.
If he was good enough, he would have got the touches, right? Like,
yeah, exactly. And like, he's
point.
someone has always brought in even like a scrub to like take
Right.
touches from him. So there obviously is something there that's like, oh, he's like Miami's all-time leading rusher, but he hasn't done shit. So it's like, this is his 3-week chance. And
exactly. I'm excited to see what happens because, like you said, Miami's all-time leading rusher along a huge list of names. Like, there was a workhorse Duke Johnson in the past. To me, I'm with you. It feels like it's long gone, but this is the one time there's not this like random big back lingering. He's going to get it. He got 16 carries last week, a career high. I think he could get it. We're going to see what happens with Duke Johnson here these next 3 weeks. It's his last chance. I think he knows it's his last chance too. So we'll get him running high. And Romeo Crennel really was raving about him all week. So I'm intrigued to see what happens. And the revenge game against Cleveland too. You always like those narratives. We got a bunch of weird revenge games this week. And just a reminder, Wolfpack, we got like, I think 5-6 more. We got just a handful of notes left here to cover, but a thumbs up means the world. It helps us get out there to more people. Shares as well, regardless of where you're at. And thanks again so much for spending your Sunday morning getting ready with us. We're humbled by as many people that come out and seek our opinion. It's the best. You guys are the best. So thank you so much for coming here. In terms of another IR move, we talked about David Johnson there. Justin Jackson's going to the IR. So Trumaine Pope is my first one up. Who knows? But who really fucking knows? This backfield's a complete nightmare. Kalen Ballage led it in carries and yardage and fantasy points last week. The one time you think Josh Kelly might do something, he disappears to Ballage. So to me, it's clearly not Kelly, which means it probably will be Kelly this week. But to me, he's had a couple weeks in a row where he should have taken over, but Trumaine Pope did, then Kalen Ballage did. Like, it seems to me like they definitely don't want it to be Kelly, maybe at the goal line, and that's about it. So my first choice is going to be Pope. One, if you're choosing between these guys, it's like, why not pick the one named Pope? Because you put a thing named Pope into your lineup and win.
Kalen Ballage might be the least talented running back in the NFL.
I totally agree.
He's terrible.
He's absolutely horrible. I will say, though, last week, like,
I know.
could this be another just escape from Gase moment? Like, he didn't look horrible last week. He showed a little bit of wiggle, showed a little bit of burst. I don't think he's good. He's one of the most inefficient running backs we've ever seen at the NFL level. But could that have been just he needed to get away from Gase? We've seen it so many other times. This isn't going to be like your next Robbie Anderson, just like used so much differently and better. But he wasn't horrible. I think any of these guys are worth at least owning. I don't know that I want to get them in my lineups. Again, Pope is my favorite if I have to start one of these three. But it's still a high-powered offense for the next couple weeks with Justin Jackson out. It looks like Eckler's running. He's going to be back in a couple weeks, but we still don't know exactly when that will be. So if somebody emerges this week and you know you're going to get value for a couple, it could be intriguing just to own him and see what happens if you have bench trash to cut. In terms of running backs that are going to be back, surprisingly, and for a couple of these, Kenyan Drake expected to play. That does make Chase Edmonds a little less sexy, even though he wasn't that sexy last week when he finally got all the work. Just kind of 11 useless, kind of like David Montgomery, empty calories, like 30 touches, 11 points. Like, okay, yay, it was serviceable, but everybody thought this was going to be the big blow. Myself included, didn't happen. I wonder if it's one of those things where he actually benefits from a lead back being in front of him, wearing out a defense a bit, and then he gets like the space touches. Maybe it ends up helping him out. All I know is I'm benching him now for Duke Johnson. I picked up Duke, and Duke's going right in. I'm not overly excited about Chase Edmonds anymore this week. Are you? I know you're a Drake owner. Unfortunately, we both own Drake in a couple leagues.
He's ruined my entire life.
What a fucking asshole he's been. Are you an Edmonds owner too? Like, what are you approaching this backfield at all?
No, I didn't cuff it like an idiot. Even though I wrote early on, I remember in the preseason about Edmonds potentially like taking over that backfield.
Yeah,
didn't own Edmonds, and at this point, I just hate that backfield. I hope it just smothers itself.
I mean, Kyler Murray is the best running back there. Like,
yeah, exactly.
He's ridiculous. It's kind of what happened with Lamar. I mean, like, yeah, Ingram had a good year because he was the only guy last year, but you never knew if you're going to get a touchdown or not because more often it's going to be Kyler running in. Like it just has not helped these guys at all how good Kyler has been. And so ultimately, I have Edmonds right around like RB 18, 19. So low end 2 flex play. I'm not going to trust Drake, at least not this week. I don't want to use that backfield if I don't have to, though. And another
there's no way should anyone be starting Drake. Like that's.
I don't think so. I mean, if you're in like Trumaine Pope range, maybe like you just hope he falls in for a touchdown and see if he comes back. But I would not be putting any stock in my Drake right now. He's on my bench. Like he has to be. There has to be a receiver or something. Cordell fucking Patterson. Like there has to be something you can put in there ahead of him. Mark Ingram also going to just return and ruin a backfield. I mean, it's not like it was that great. We did have that one game where it looked like everything was going to turn the tides for J.K. Dobbins and Gus Edwards. But now with a 3-headed nightmare, it's not like the Patriots are a tough front. They're one of the softer run defenses in the league. So if somebody gets some meaningful work, they'll be useful. It's just a matter of when it's 3 heads, how can you ever? Nobody had touched the ball more than 13 times when Ingram was active. It's just an impossible nightmare. Those guys have all fallen outside my top 35 running backs. I'd rather have a Trumaine Pope or probably even a Kenyan Drake than any Ravens running back at this point.
I have to wait till next year for JK.
It sucks too because every time he gets it, he looks so good. It's such a mess. Like I get being unpredictable, but I also get establishing like a rhythm and getting your people fired up. And like there's no consistency for any of these guys, and I hate it. And hopefully more consistency. Antonio Gibson, full participant, gets Detroit dreamboat of a matchup. JD McKissic getting 14 targets is probably the most infuriating thing I've ever seen. You draft a receiver and convert him to running back only to remove him from passing downs. I don't get it. It's not like McKissic's even in pass blocking. He only pass blocked 5 times last week. Whatever the case is, they trust McKissic more in the passing game right now. But on the right scripts, Gibson can go off. And this looks like it's Detroit. Yeah.
44 is his over-under rushing total.
Antonio Gibson? Oh, put that on the prop list.
Yeah.
That's a great one. Like he's been hitting that even in tough matchups. Detroit's the second easiest matchup for running backs. Like Gibson should. The only way he doesn't hit that is if like Detroit scores 2 bombs early and then they suddenly have to abandon the run. I don't see that happening. And even when they get down, they still like ugly stick to the run. So I think Gibson should be fine in a great spot. That's what I'm all about. We mentioned this. We previewed this. More impactful than maybe any of these injuries could be the weather today. It's another one of those Sundays, not quite as crazy as last week, but crazy over 25-mile-per-hour winds with Green Bay and Jacksonville. Same in Cleveland and Houston. They're saying it's like just as bad as it was a couple weeks ago when we saw nobody scoring in the passing game. Also implications for the over-unders in those games, both over 50. I would take the under on both the Green Bay and the Houston game right now. Though we often see the running games get emphasized in those. There's a few quarterbacks like Rodgers who can just rope it through wind and it doesn't really matter. We saw that with Adams a couple weeks ago. But even then, Adams had like 3 touchdowns and 60 yards. It wasn't like his yardage. It wasn't your usual Adams. It was goal line. They just kind of like, we got to make sure we get him 50 points in fantasy because that's what he always fucking does. It wasn't a matter of like bombing it out, airing it out. So guys like Brandon Cooks, Will Fuller, I don't know if I'm going to fade. Like I'm certainly fading him in DFS where I have the options. It's tough to be like, yeah, bench Will Fuller, but this is an ugly spot. I'm going from Brandon Cooks in all my DraftKings lineups to now like Brandon Ayuk or T. Higgins at the same price. I'm going to go for those guys, although there is also some wind in Pittsburgh and Cincinnati. It sounds like it's not quite as bad as what we're dealing with in Cleveland and Houston, but Green Bay and Jacksonville not looking great. And then we got a message about New York and Philly looking horrible as well. I didn't notice that on the weather apps, but that's, I guess, another one. We got it from Danger Close, longtime viewer here. So if anybody else is out there paying attention to other broadcasts that have more in-depth weather breakdowns or you can like see it, because there's sometimes you can just like watch and you'll see Sal Palantonio talking and it's like hairs all over the place. And,
Palantonio. Yeah.
It's what'd you say?
No, he does these little like Sal Palantonio.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sal. You pan down to him and you'll just see him like blowing away in the wind. So if that's what it's looking like, Why is it always Sal Palantonio in the wind? I feel like he always gets assigned to like whatever the wind.
He's always in like Buffalo or like
Yeah.
Cincy or like some gross place.
Exactly. I'm Sal Palantonio in the worst weather of the country, wherever it's going to be. They're going to fucking send me. I don't know why. But yeah, so that's just something to track. Feel free to comment in any weather notes you guys see or that you have questions on. Last three here. I know it's a little bit lengthier today. We're at 20 minutes, and that's where I like to cap this, but we have a ton of shit this week. Irv Smith's going to be out. A lot of people just like had Kelsey and were pivoting to him. So now maybe you just go to Rudolph instead. The Rams guys are off and out there. I don't love either one, but Everett's, been outplaying Higbee fantasy-wise. If you're desperate at tight end, let us know who's out there. But Rudolph could now be somewhat intriguing. The Bears are giving up a decent amount to tight ends, the 9th most points. Big Ben will be active despite the scare. Don't love him. There's no rushing upside. There's none of that stuff. But against Cincinnati, if they could get, back and forth game going, that could be legit. So just a guy to keep in the radar. Jair Alexander is still sidelined, won't be playing today. That's huge. He's like the definition of a shutdown corner. So DJ Chark goes from someone I'd probably fade to someone I like now. Now, granted, the weather we just talked about is not in DJ Chark's favor, but he's not someone that needs the deep ball. I know he scored last week on a deep ball. He can still generate touches in the short game too. Matt Breida will be out. So if you need a stash, maybe DeAndre Washington, maybe whoever that Ahmed guy is, like it just is something on the bench. Again, running back is so hideous. What if one emerges? We know it's not going to be Jordan Howard. That ends up becoming actually like usable. He might fall into the end zone, but ultimately he's never going to be more than 15 yards and a touchdown. So who wants to actually use that? And then the last note was TJ Hawkinson is going to play as expected, as is Jerry Jeudy. And Debo is out. Brandon Ayuk is back. And Richie James is also kind of elevated to the starting lineup. So I don't know what to make of this mess. I do like Ayuk. I think he could really destroy their slot corners out there in New Orleans. They're going to need to play in comeback mode is my guess against the Saints. So that is everything I believe. I think that I hit that Allen Lazard's going to be out. A lot of questions came in about him throughout the week. He's going to be out too. So that's everything we got. Wolfpack, now it is going to be time for your questions the rest of the way. Did you ever see anything on Devonta Freeman, CJ? That's the one other guy I couldn't find a note.
Probably have to wait till like 11:45 or so.
Yeah, we'll see any notes on him or anybody else that sees anything on Freeman. Let us know. Just because Gallman has 14 points in 3 straight games when he's been the guy, just a volume play and a wet, gross-looking day could be a decent, viable flex option for people. So that's all I got. If I miss anything or if there's other questions or notes you guys have, let me know. I'll keep updating the rankings throughout the broadcast here. But it is on to your questions. Again, thumbs up means the world wherever you're at. It just helps us get out to more people. Shares even better. So let us know if you're willing, let us know, but please share if you are willing to. Please give it a thumbs up, YouTube, Facebook, Periscope, heart button, wherever you're at. Whatever you can do to help the show would mean the world. Now we are going to get to all your questions. Madison Lee over on YouTube. You want to start us off, CJ?
Yeah. Good morning. Ayuk or Mike Williams in the flex, rolling out Herbert. So I kind of like the stack potential and the Chargers offense as a whole. But my man, Ayuk is sexy as fuck. Thanks a lot and keep up the great work.
Thank you, Madison. I know you become a regular over here, so we really appreciate it. I do like Ayuk. I think he is sexier. The thing with Williams is I love stacking up Herbert. I just traded for Herbert, as I was saying, Madison Lee. So let's go. Let's hope our man continues to bombs away. I do think Williams could draw Xavier Howard, who has been he's really had a rebound season this year. So I'm a little bit wary, a little bit nervous about Mike Williams today. I love Keenan Allen coming out of the slot. Williams could score that long bomb. That's what he's always, that's why you're putting him in the first place. But I think Ayuk, what we saw Richie James do on Thursday night, I really think was what Ayuk's role is. He just had that COVID scare happen. So give me him all day. I'm ready for him to blow up. I think this could be it.
Jeremy Anderson, Antonio Gibson, Kalen Balaj, or Alan Lazard. Actually, Lazard's out. You said, right?
Yeah, Lazard's out. Balaj stinks. Like Gibson gets Detroit. This one's a no-brainer, Jeremy. You got to go Antonio Gibson. As frustrating as the usage can be at times, I'm going with that.
Madison, across 2 leagues, I've Goddard twice, Ingram and Hawkinson. Want to diversify the portfolio, so I'm starting Goddard in one and Ingram in the other. Smart investments, in your opinion?
I want to just go Hawk. I'm not worried about the toe. He's been so steady. He's one of the only, I know you said CJ, right? He's your tight end prop bet. every week, and it always hits.
Locked in every single week.
It's 4.5, 5.5 receptions every week, and he always hits up. Like
touchdown every single week.
Touchdown every week. Like it often will come at the end of the game, but you get it. I'm never benching Hawkinson. He's my number 2 tight end, Madison. So keep him on rolling. I didn't ask your opinion on the Ayuk Williams. I was all in on Ayuk, so it made that one easy for me. But do you have? I know you're a big Chargers guy, so
I am. I do like Williams a lot, and he does get peppered especially in like the red zone. He's such a monster. Like jump balls, he's probably one of the best jump ball guys in the NFL. But yeah, after seeing like Rishi James, nobody like ripping up for like 200 yards basically. Yeah, I do have thought that would have been Ayuk's game. So,
it's so frustrating. It's so frustrating. Like somebody blows up every week in that offense, and whether it's Jeff, it's never who you expect. So right when we go on Ayuk, it's gonna be like Trent Taylor. But I'm liking him this week. He's such an athletic freak.
Last question: any reason to hold Bucker through a bye week? Love the offense. Kind of stinks this year, but what do you think?
Only if
you're dropping for Zane. Zane saw it himself. So
yeah, exactly. It's like who are you dropping from your bench otherwise? If you have a useless player, then sure. The other thing with that too, Madison, is can you pick up Butker? Well, you'd be dropping him, so you know what? You wouldn't be able to. Some leagues he might be out there, and then you can pick him up on like Monday night before the game kicks off, and cut whoever sucked on your bench. It really depends on who you could cut instead. If you have garbage, then hold on to him because he is still a good kicker and one of the best offense probably in the league. But otherwise, I never really hang on to kickers if there's anything of intrigue to keep.
I always hold on to Justin Tucker. That's my guy.
Well, you'd love Justin Tucker. You've always had that hard on. There's no kickers that I genuinely usually ever hang on to.
Stephanie, half-point PPR, flex Mike Williams or Lindsey?
I don't love Lindsey. I mean, I love the player. It's so inconsistent. Who's going to get the volume that week in that backfield? I'd probably just go for the touchdown of Williams, despite not loving that Xavier Howard matchup as we talked about. What about you, CJ?
Mike Williams.
Yeah. What's going on, Denny? Great to see you. Denny's been tuning in to the Thursdays, and he tends to bring up my bad habits. I wonder if he'll convince me to take some shots live again. Jeez, Denny. Not today, I don't think.
JMR's half PPR, pick one running back, one flex. Hunt, Edmund, these are all like middling options. Hunt, Edmonds, Drake, Godwin, Marvin Jones.
I would go. So we need one running back. I'm going to go Hunt. I think that's a great matchup. Chubb will be back, but Hunt was killing it with Chubb even in the lineup too. So I like Hunt. And then the flex, I'd probably go with Godwin and just go for the talent there. That's like Edmonds makes it'd be Edmonds or Godwin for me. I'm not going Marvin Jones. Like Drake, no. What do you think? I don't know. I think Hunt's the only easy answer. I personally would probably go Godwin.
Yeah, I always go with the talent. I'd go Hunt Godwin there too. And then he's asking a standard league start one running back. He keeps texting about this all week. Just
it's Dallas, by the way. Out of all, it's like all the gross pickups. I'm looking through those names right there.
Yeah,
Dallas is like a head tier or two above these guys now that the others have been ruled out. Especially in standard where you're just hoping for a touchdown. Dallas seems as close to a lock for a TD as anybody in the league. The rest of this list, especially with Ingram coming back, is just like who could it be? Dallas, we know, is going to be the lead at least.
David Campanelli, good morning, Wolf and the Silent Assassin. Best part of the Sunday.
I love you, dude. Love you, David. Thank you for tuning in as always every week.
Hey, Jair. Hey, fellas. Flex full PPR, Devonta or Judy?
I love Devonte this week. I mean, I love his price on DraftKings at $5K, so I think I was drawn to him for that. And the more I think about it, it's like Preston Williams is out. Their running game is horrendous. I think the Chargers are going to put up points as they do against everybody. I mean, that 48.5 over under, I don't know. It seems to me like a no-brainer, which is, of course, why it will probably go under. But they haven't been under 57 points since Herbert took over there. The defense has had a ton of injuries, so they stink. And Herbert puts up points. And now his line is getting healthy. Two of their top linemen are coming back this week. I think that could be a sneaky points bonanza, in which case the Dolphins have to throw and chuck. They got no one else to throw to, and the whole game plan has to, in my opinion, be built around Parker, who destroys zone coverage, which is what the Chargers run a ton of with all these injuries. I'm into Parker this week. I like Judy. I mean, Judy's a great player, not a bad matchup for him. But I'm just really, really into Parker. This is a tough one if you're not. I'm kind of blinded by my Parker love for this week. What are your thoughts on this one, CJ?
I mean, I don't love Tua. I think he's kind of average in my opinion, but I think I'd still go with Parker there. He's the better talent at this point in time. Maybe not by much, but
I mean, who knows? Actually,
yeah, I would go. I think I'm going to stick with Parker and just do that's a safe answer.
Yeah. I think he's going to get peppered today.
He's
my play of the day.
Bill, true or false? Ray Charles could hit Mo Alley Cox for that touchdown on Thursday Night Football.
That was infuriating, especially as people who were heavily invested in his prop bet. Ray Charles would just drop that right in.
He was sitting in the end zone by himself for like 15 seconds.
Exactly. He could have pulled up a chair, sat down, and been like, "Hello, good to see you all. Oh, could you throw me that touchdown?" That was infuriating. Absolutely infuriating. I'm sure it's also infuriating that your wife over here, Katie Jiggs, played Nyheim Hines on Thursday Night Football based on the Wolves recommendation and slapped around Bill. Good stuff. Good stuff always.
Love it. Zane Jennings, do you like the Browns' defense the rest of the season?
I like matchup. Defense, there's no I do love the Browns in terms of like Myles Garrett's always a decent bet for sacks. Their schedule looks pretty good, especially in the playoffs. I was looking ahead. But ultimately, no, not really. Like I'm never like stashing a deal. It's all about the matchups.
Yeah, I stream during the week. Good morning, Wolfpack. Let's get this today real quick. Trade away John Brown and Bernard for Henderson and AJ Green.
Like and share, says the Wolfpack. Indeed, get those thumbs in, get the shares out. I feel like
anything that has AJ Green in it, I just hate.
Yeah, I don't mind. AJ Green's nothing to me. I don't want AJ Green. Bernard's eventually gonna wrap up, so it matters on like who you need. Like if you need Bernard to start right now, I don't know that I love it because I do like John Brown way more than AJ Green. Bernard week to week, I like more than Henderson when he's starting, but Henderson's certainly the better long-term investment here. It's like it's not a clear win or a clear loss. So in that point, it's like probably not a win then because I only want to really win a trade. So it's not one where I think you capitalize on this like crazy long-term investment in Henderson. I don't know. It's like an to me. And I'm never gonna lie to you. I wish I could just pump and blow smoke up everybody's ass all the time, but I don't love that one shady ass. I don't.
Yeah. Justin Vetter, no Carson or McCaffrey. Pick one PPR. AB, Rager, Dobbins, Gallman, DJ Dallas.
I like DJ. I like DJ Dallas. AB's intriguing to me, and I'm still in the middle of a mental mind fuck right now, deciding between him and Ayuk and Curtis Samuel. I got to pick two of them, or Rager as well. So I have Justin a lot of the same guys you're weighing here. I personally like DJ Dallas, though. I think he's a really, really good bet for a score. What are your thoughts on all these options, CJ? It's tough.
AB fucked me over like 10 ways on Sunday.
Yeah.
Had all of his props, had everything. Like I started him in 2 leagues. And then also like asshole Arians is like, oh, he played too much. It's like I fucking hate that guy so much. He is such an asshole. I can't stand him at all. With this, I would just be safe and go with DJ Dallas's 1 touchdown and 50 yards, in my opinion.
I think he's locked in for a score. Like that's a nice floor to have. If he doesn't score, that could get ugly. But there's going to be points, and he's going to get some goal line touches. He's been dominating them the last 2 weeks. So that's what I think as well.
Standard bonus is bench 1, Juju, Cup, Judy.
Damn, some great options. I would bench Judy, I think. What about you?
I feel you. Same way.
He had his great game, but we got to keep in mind his game came against Atlanta. It's nothing against the talent. The talents looked great. You just have 2 good options here. Juju's been on a hot streak. I think I keep riding that out. Cup's my lock. I go Juju. Yeah, I keep Juju in.
No, flex should I start Chark, Higgins, or Judy?
That's a good one. The wind, it could have a major effect on both guys. You're right, in both matchups. Oh, that's tough. I think I'm going to go Chark with no Jair, though. The upside's too high, and I think they're going to get down and need to chuck. What are your thoughts?
Same exact way.
Yeah.
Tunes, how we doing today?
Yeah, we are good, Tunes. How we dong? We're doing good, my dude. How are you? The tree and venison breakfast? You made some venison and eggs this morning, my man?
KJ Gear again, still on a quest to be my pathetic husband in the family league. Flex half PPR, Pope or Patrick.
Man, so this is where you've already put Hines in. So we're gonna have to go with one of these guys too, huh? I kind of like Pope, but Patrick's been steady. I mean, he hasn't been under 13 points, I don't think. In full PPR, at least. I think we're half PPR, but I think he's been at least 10. I'd probably, especially because we have the 20 points from Hines already. You're in good shape. You just need kind of sure points at this point, Katie. I go Patrick there. I'm going to go for the safety. Pope could blow up, but I mean, you're asking for a lot, and that's a lot of a mess to have to deal with. So I'm going to go Patrick there.
So we do have the field eights officially active. Nick Chubb's active, Hawkinson's active, Tonyan's active, Golden Tate, and Alshon Jeffrey. It's interesting, I guess. And then inactive is Jair Alexander.
And that's it.
There's
a lot of other names that we've already covered. The only one I'm looking for, it's still at this point, is Devonta Freeman. Because Gallman is startable with Freeman out, and neither one's touchable if Freeman's in. So that's the only one we're still looking for, folks. Let us know if you catch that one ever. David, right back to you.
Standard bonuses, running back, pick 2, Mike Davis, Duke Johnson, Gus Edwards, Drake, Balaj, DJ.
I like Davis, sure volume, and I like Duke. I do like DJ Dallas close third, but I go Davis and Duke over those other guys. Are you in agreement there? Or do you force DJ in over Duke?
No, I like he's going to get so many touches today. Duke's going to get like 20 touches, I feel like.
No doubt about it. Mr. DeIndia.
Henderson or Gibson, would you play the one you don't choose in the flex over Justin Jefferson?
I like Gibson the most. And then for the flex, I probably stick with Jefferson.
Yeah, I'd stay with Jefferson there. Henderson's been banged up all week. It's kind of like I don't know, but that backfield just sucks.
I know. And they talked about getting Cam Akers more involved. I'll believe it when I fucking see it, but it's just, McVay's one of those guys that I don't believe a word that spews out of his fucking mouth, and you just never know what's going to happen. So I'll stick it with Jefferson here. That's an ugly game, but Bill Lazor taking over for the Bears. What if they put up some points? You get a shootout. Like, that's the frustrating part of Jefferson. If you could guarantee 30 throws a week, he's going to be a monster. But they want to throw it 10 times a week if they can. So that's been killing him with Dalvin Cook going off. This could be the week, though, that they have a decent run D. I could see this being a week where they have to throw it a little bit more, in which case Jefferson gets helped. So I go Gibson, Jefferson. But it is close between Jefferson and Henderson, D&D. If you're really feeling Henderson, then I wouldn't hate it. I wouldn't hate that play by any means. But I personally go Gibson, Jefferson.
Kevin Ford, Chase Edmonds over DJ, and then flex Mike Williams or Judy.
That's tricky. Edmonds and DJ, man. I think I have him literally 18 and 19 in the rankings right now. With Edmonds slightly higher for the upside, but DJ's certainly safer. I probably go Edmonds here. I don't think Drake's going to be back to like Drake. He might get a handful of carries, shake off a little rust. I imagine it's going to be more Edmonds and maybe the more creative Edmonds we've become accustomed to. So I go Edmonds, and then I go Judy for the flex. What about you with the Judy or Williams, CJ?
I always like Mike Williams' touchdown upside. He's so good in the red zone. I mean, if it's like a full PPR, I'd go with Judy, but otherwise I go Williams.
Yeah. I like Judy myself personally. AJ Brown, that is brutal. Outscored by the opponent's defense. Never a good start to the week. And that's the worst on Thursday Night Football when you just have like a kick to the nuts and you just have it stinging and going into your matchup. Like, doesn't mean it's over. We definitely got you. We got plenty of players still to go, but that sucks, dudes. And it's not like
it's likely over.
The thing is, too, with that one, though, you can't you were never going to bench AJ Brown. So it's like at the end of the day, that wasn't like a Jonathan Taylor who had got like 3, who I was saying bench to everybody that asked almost exclusively bench him. That's one that kills you because you actually were considering it. Whereas AJ Brown, it's like, fuck, you sucked, but you weren't ever going to bench AJ Brown. Like you can't. I mean, maybe I don't think you asked about it. And if you did, I'm sorry, but I would have said start him in every single time. Like, so that's one that hurts, but it's like, what could you do?
Campanelli, full PPR, pick 2 running backs, Sanders, Robinson, Hunt, Rojo, Edmonds.
Sanders and Robinson. I mean, you got some great options here, but those two are head and shoulders above, in my opinion. Hunt's close. He's Robinson's my running back 5, Sanders my 7, Hunt's my 11, so he's close. I wouldn't hate him in a flex, but those first two are just studs, David. I think you got to roll with that.
Shady ass people also traded Fulgham, Jacobs, and Judy for Mike Thomas and Antonio Gibson. What are your thoughts on that? Leaves me with Diggs, Thomas, and DK for my top 3 receivers. I mean, you can't really argue with that.
No, that's those receivers. I mean, if Thomas comes into Mike Thomas mode for the rest of the season, you got the 3 of the top 5 receivers. Like, ridiculous. So I like that one. Jacobs just frustrating. Fulgham, I think you might have sold a little high on, which is nice because all the injuries. Alshon's coming back. Rager's coming into his own. He could take a little step back. And I think Judy, we just saw his best game of the year. What if Gibson gets the passing down work too? He could just rock it up if he eventually takes that rollover. So Shady, this trade I do like. I'll give you the thumbs up on this one. So well done there. Thanks. And everybody, we're right coming in on that 12 o'clock hour. If you don't mind, anybody who has not given it a thumbs up or like yet, regardless of where you're watching, it helps us get discovered by more people. So give us that thumbs up, chuck in a share if you're willing to. Means the world to us. So thanks again, guys, for spending your Sunday mornings with us. We always love doing the show. You guys are the best. Let's go back now to the questions and back with David Campanile.
Pick a quarterback: Goff, Wentz, Tua, Baker.
I love Goff for this list. Seahawks is just a kind of no-brainer. And he's at home, all that good stuff. I think everything lines up for a good Goff day. The other guys are dealing with weather or Tua's just give me Goff. The highest floor, the highest ceiling. To me, it's definitely him.
Jay Mars loves him some Wolf and Mr. Clean on Sunday morning.
We're calling him Mr. Clean the rest of the show. I love it, Jay Mars. Good stuff.
Vanelli, full PPR, Goddard or Gesicki?
I go Goddard there. We got to do a bet, CJ, where if you lose, you have to come on the show as your Mr. Clean outfit that you had for Halloween.
Halloween.
That's a great costume.
One of the best costumes.
Yeah, you have to do that one. We'll come up with some sort of prop bet that we competition or something. If you hit less than half your props, you have to come on as Mr. Clean or something of that nature. We'll do that this week.
Karan's Hooper or Goddard?
Bad weather in Cleveland. Oh, that's tough because I really like Hooper this week. But if I had the choice between the guys, I wonder who I actually have rank. I'm saying Goddard.
Did you say you Goddard like T3 or something silly?
Do I have?
Oh, no. That was Hawkinson.
Yeah, I have Hawkinson tight end 2. I have Goddard 6, Hooper 10. So pretty close. I think I actually have Hooper too low. I'm going to bump him up. The weather is definitely a concern there, but that's less of a concern for Hooper because it's not so much about the deep ball as it is dink, dink, dink. I think he could be a decent bet for a score today. So I like Hooper. I'm not overly worried about that weather today.
Mateo, I need to drop one of my receiver 2 options to activate Chubb. Mike Williams, DJ Moore, Shepard, Parker, Samuel. Who are you dropping out of those guys?
I would probably drop Mike Willie. They're all really good options. But
I think
maybe DJ Moore.
I was going to say Shep. I don't know.
Yeah, Shepard. Like any of them are droppable and any of them could just blow up. Like I want to hold on to Parker. I don't want to drop Samuel right now. He seems to be trending the best out of any of these guys. I feel like Mike Willie's the one that you just probably will never force into your lineup at this point. Karan, I feel like I got unclear by the end of that answer too, because I was just telling you how I liked both options. I still like Goddard more than Hooper. I just don't mind the bad weather. That's not the reason for the decision. It's just that I think Goddard could really have his big game, and Denny Jennings seems to agree here with us. Did I miss this one by David? Did we get this one?
No, we're at Karan.
Yeah, I think I skipped this one by David.
No, we got that.
Okay, it is Goddard for me, by the way, just to make sure we got that one.
Go up to Karan.
Oh, you got another one here.
Gibson or Davis?
Whew, that's tough. That's my 10 and 11 right there at running back. Actually, I think this morning I bumped Gibson up to 9. I go Gibson over Davis today if I have the option to. I get they're both. We've seen that all before. So yeah, I've seen Davis destroy it, but the last few starts he's been kind of out. I don't know. I'm not. Yeah. What's got you chuckling over there?
I'm going Davis. The amount of touches he gets is silly in that offense.
It is 15 to 20. Like he's a good bet for the end zone. I don't know. I love Gibson. I think Gibson's blown up this week. So Gibson for me, Davis for CJ.
Coons, full PPR, Fulgham, Parker, Shepard, John Brown, Sanders, Ayuk, sit 2.
I'm gonna sit Sanders, and I think I'm gonna sit John Brown there. That game could be a shootout, so that's tricky.
Hey, that's a revenge game.
Oh yeah, that's true. Oh man, shit. Maybe Sanders is my easiest sit, even though he's my one.
I'm sitting Shep, I think.
Yeah, Shep's not that exciting, but Slay's probably gonna be on Slayton. If the weather's as bad as it's supposed to be, though, then the no receiver is going to be doing anything there. I think I should. Shepard's probably the sit there alongside Sanders. I just want to really see what Ayuk in that offense does today.
ISO, what's going on? And he's asking for just a few.
No, we're not taking questions.
Oh no, this is at like 11:15, so it's one.
Yeah, we're going through the news. But yeah, we'll take questions.
Love the trade, Chubb and Herbert.
I'm glad you like it. Anybody who owns Herbert knows how good this guy has been. I feel like the people who have hated on the trade, are like you're getting a rookie quarterback. It's like, yeah, I'm getting a rookie quarterback to put up 27 a week. Like he's crazy. So I think it is a win now move. Like I don't love giving up C-Mac, but to win now, I don't hate it at all.
Wise guy, good morning. Half point PPR, Chark, Fuller, Deontay Johnson, Edmonds, sit 1. So pick one. Yeah.
I got to sit one of these guys out. I'm probably sitting. It's Deontay or Edmonds for me. I'm probably going to sit Edmonds there. I feel like Deontay's just a safe bet for 10 targets every time he plays.
Yeah.
Edmonds, I just don't know what's going to happen
until he hobbles off the field. Patrick Sullivan, half point PPR. Fulgham, Thielen, Boyd, or Samuel?
So I can only pick one of them, huh? That's tough because they're all interesting options. Man, that's tough. I think I like Boyd. I don't know. Thielen's always Thielen though. Like Thielen's the best player here.
Yeah. I'd be safe and go with him.
You'd go Thielen over Boyd here?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking at the rankings here. I have Thielen at 15 and Boyd a few spots lower. So you know what? Yeah, I guess you ride Thielen. Just hope this crazy run game doesn't keep pounding it 45 times a game.
Terrio, Henderson or Judy in the flex?
That's a tough one. Henderson, a good amount of questions about him. Man, when he plays, I love him. He looks good. He typically gets involved in the goal line early. It's just like a three-headed nightmare at times, though, and he was hurt. I think I'd go Judy here. What are your thoughts for Mark Terrio?
I hate the Rams backfield so much. It's like it's so difficult, but also Henderson will probably get 25 touches today.
Right.
I think Judy is weirdly safer, in my opinion.
Yes.
Giuseppe, what's up? Happy Sunday.
Good to see you too, as always, Giuseppe.
Denny, going back and forth with this, AB or John Brown, full PPR.
I think I go for AB on this one. I'll just go for him, even though as CJ pointed out, revenge game for Johnny Brown. That's tough. And a higher floor probably for Johnny Brown. What about you, CJ? I know you said you're done with ABs. John Brown, are you done with him?
I'm going John. I'm not done with AB yet, but I'm going John Brown.
Yeah, I'm going to go AB. He goes John Brown.
Giuseppe, Lamar, or Burrow?
Lamar, definitely. Bad weather, Pittsburgh, tough matchup. Give me Lamar.
Giuseppe again. Jacoby Myers, I'm guessing, or Ayuk?
That's close. I like Ayuk, though. I want to see if he's that guy this week. I'm into it.
Giuseppe again. Pick 2, half PPR, Jacobs, Drake, or Gibson.
Definitely Gibson and Jacobs. Yeah, we're benching Drake. Yeah, we're benching Drake there.
Mari Don. Diggs or Cooks?
Diggs, definitely Diggs. Cooks, even if everything was all good this week, wouldn't even be close to Diggs. But now with the win there too, I'm all about Diggs this week.
Mike Clay, ESPN, Brady or Wentz?
Gotta go.
Give the reason to. Be sure.
Of course, I'm going to give the reason. Mike, you've tuned in enough. You know, I'm never just going to give a name unless it's like completely obvious to me. It's Brady for me. I think Carolina can keep it close, and I think Brady, after that probably career worst showing last week, should have be fired up. And I think fired up Tom is always terrifying. Wentz has the weather to deal with. He gets some weapons back, but bad weather, gross game. Like if one of those games is going to go bonkers, it's Carolina and Tampa Bay, like going back and forth. Two underrated defenses too. So it might just be like a 28, 21 game, but I could see that game hitting 50. It's over under is 50.5. The weather's not too scary there. Like give me Brady. Give me Brady bounce back week. Do you agree or are you against that one?
Fuck that guy. But yeah, I'm still going Brady. It's a nice bounce back.
Yeah, you have to.
Giuseppe, Claypool, or Brandon Cooks?
I like, especially with the weather. It would have been Cooks before these wins, but a deep threat like Cooks, I don't know. I just don't like anything. The matchup's easy, but I do not like that weather at all. So yeah, I'm gonna go Claypool there. It's just been a monster.
Yeah, I'm going Claypool. Tunes, Hawkinson is expected to play today with a sore toe. Do I keep him in my lineup or go with someone else?
Oh yeah, you keep Hawkinson in. I can't imagine there's anyone even comparable on the way. He's my tight end too. Again, unless you have my number one tight end of the week, which who the hell do I even have above Hawkinson? Waller, probably. Yeah, Waller. Then there's nobody I'd play over Hawkinson.
SL something. Wolf, Drake or Edmonds, help. Oh, that's the worst situation to be in is the Cardinals.
Disgusting. Yeah, that blows. Sorry that you're dealing with that. That's horrible. I would go Edmonds just because the more creative touches. If they ease in Drake, he could be a lesser used option there. So yeah, I'd begrudgingly go Edmonds, but I'm in the same boat where I have to probably pick one. I'm going to go Edmonds.
Oh, it's the worst.
Yes. Well, CJ plugs in his computer over there. AB or Patterson, PPR. I'm going to lean AB. I know I talked about Patterson early, Giuseppe, but I'm sticking with AB in that case. What games are you stacking in DFS Tunes? I love stacking up. I love Herbert and Keenan Allen. The prices, Herbert's looking underowned. So I like stacking that one. And I like the prices. Running it back with Devontae Parker is a great play. Now, of course, the Rams and Seahawks going to be a points factory. Of course, Arizona versus Buffalo. I want options in that one. But I find myself constructing around a Herbert, Keenan Allen stack with Devonte Adams on the way back. I mean, not Devonte Adams, Devontae Parker. Obviously, Devonte Adams is nice to have in there too, but not the same game.
Jose Vega, Juju, or Fuller?
That's the weather, right? Like how crazy into the weather are we going to?
I feel like we usually blow weather out of proportion a little bit.
Yeah, and Fuller we've seen is like unlike Cooks, who's been largely dependent on the deep ball. Fuller's been a lot more used, like in the sense of what's his name, DeAndre Hopkins. Like not obviously not quite Hopkins, but similar in that sense of usage. So I don't mind Fuller as much today as I would like a Drake. Now I did just bump him. I'm looking at my rankings. I put him below like a Lockett, a Cooper Kupp, a Mike Thomas even today. And I might bump down Chark just a little bit because I think there's a couple guys I did not adjust for weather on here. But I don't know. Chark doesn't really need I like Chark where I have him. So I'm not going to go crazy over the weather today. I'm going to keep Fuller above Juju in my rankings.
Mari Dadon, Duke or Chase Edmonds?
Same decision I have to make, my man. And I personally, I'm going to roll Duke. I'd rather go for the sure touches. Now that Drake just made the decision easier for us, in my opinion. It was kind of up in the air already, and now Drake just made it easier. I'm going to go with Duke.
Mike Clay worried about the weather for pass catchers in Pitt/Cincy and Jacksonville game against Green Bay.
Enough like that you have to adjust a little bit, but again, as CJ was saying, you don't want to go overboard and then avoid. It really depends on what your secondary options are, I guess. But yeah, I want to go crazy on that one.
Kevin Ford, should you dump Corey Davis / Mike Williams for Reagor?
I love Reagor, so I'm pretty high on him. That being said, we do have Alshon back this week, so this will be a telling week. We'll see what happens. I don't think I'd dump either of those guys though for him. It's close, Kevin, but I don't think so.
Jose Vega, Gibson, Ronald Jones, or Gio? Philip Gibson.
Gibson. Bernard's a close second. Jones isn't even in the question with these guys for me, despite the Carolina matchup. I go Gibson, closely followed by Bernard, but Gibson for me.
Jeremiah's sad. Where was the DFS show yesterday?
I'm sorry to have missed you, Jeremiah. I went up to Maine. I just had to it was a busy week with a lot of like the underground stuff with the site. Good stuff, all business related, like relationships and great stuff like that. But just needed a weekend away. I missed you guys. If you have specific DFS questions, I'm happy to do it. I think for the future, I'm going to start doing the DFS show, Jeremiah, on Fridays, just because I'm still in the work mode. And that, like, it gives me the option if I want to go up to Maine for Saturday or whatever. What's that?
Saturday mornings are tough to like.
It's tough. Exactly. And I haven't minded doing it, but it's going to be nice to kind of free that up in case if I want to work on RSA, great. If I have a Saturday, I just need off like this week. I just needed one off. So I'm glad you were looking for it. I appreciate the fandom. Sorry to have missed you on it. If you have specific questions, I would be happy to help you out, Jeremiah. But yeah, just had to get away from the town, get to Portland, Maine, and had a nice little Saturday with the lady, which was lovely. And Queen's Gambit. I know you're into Queen's Gambit, right, CJ?
I would say it's the best show Netflix has put out in a very long time. That's not a documentary. You
finished it too, right?
I finished it in like 15 hours. Like I started at like 11 p.m. on like a Tuesday. Stayed up till 3, which I never do anymore, and then I finished work the next day at like 4 o'clock and just crushed the last like 3 episodes.
It's amazing.
It's so good.
I watched 5 episodes of it yesterday. We woke up early before Maine, watched 2, and got hooked. And we're like, we got to come home so we can keep watching it. Like it's awesome. Oh, the acting's unbelievable too.
Everything about it's fucking incredible.
Such a well told story. Yeah. So check out that, Jeremiah. That's another reason I got wicked into the Queen's Gambit as well. But we will be back. Don't you worry. The DFS show will be back. And if you have questions, I would love to answer them for you.
My Claypool and Higgins in one league. Should I run Ayuk over any of them?
It's the weather question, right? Like Ayuk would be safer in that sense, but I think I prefer both of those guys to Ayuk. He's within a spot of Higgins. Claypool, I have a few spots above these guys. If there was one to bench, to me it'd be Higgins, but I still think I would go Claypool and Higgins over Ayuk. What are your thoughts on that, CJ?
Yeah, I'm sitting Ayuk off on that one. I still love Claypool and Higgins as studs. So.
They've been they're just a longer track record of success for both those guys.
Yeah. Giuseppe, Tua, Carr, or Burrow?
Oh, that's pretty ugly. Man, who does Carr get this week? I maybe Tua because I just think that game has shootout potential. Like I don't know. That's a pretty gross one. Tua did have 20 points, a lot of like sneaky little rushing upside. I have him ranked Tua 15, Carr 17, Burrow 18. If the weather wasn't an issue, I probably would say Burrow's the clear guy, but now with weather and the tough Pittsburgh matchup, I'm going to go Tua, but you're not a Tua guy, CJ. So you're probably not going Tua of these options. Who would be yours?
It's always Burrow, except the Steelers defense does kind of sketch me out. But I don't know. They were kind of leaky against Dallas. I think I'd still go Burrow as the better talent. I would think.
Yeah, if you're siding talent, Burrow's my favorite, but I'm going to go Tua with the matchup this week.
Jeremiah, I'm stacking LA and Seattle, playing Goff at quarterback.
I think it's a great play. Goff at 6,500. Now, I personally am going to Herbert for 100 more. I think Goff's a little more popular this week, and I totally understand why. I'd love me a Goff Woods stack. Like I have a lot of Woods in lineups. I like DJ Dallas. I love Lockett on Seattle, drawing the slot corner. This could be a berserk Lockett game with DK probably getting Ramsey for a bit. But yeah, I think that's a great game stack. That game, if I was doing the show, that would have been my highest over under of the week that I think is going to hit for sure.
Andrew Fleener, DJ D or Homer?
I've gotten this question a few times because I think Yahoo has Homer projected for more. I don't understand why. DJ Dallas has scored every single week since Carson's been out. And he's the lock at the goal line, the lock for the majority of touches. It's not pretty. It hasn't looked good, but he falls into the end zone each week. So I'm going to go for the touchdown, and I'm going to go DJ Dallas.
Dane Jennings went over under 1.5 turnovers.
Hammer the over. Fuck the Eagles. Hammer that over, baby.
You can probably in a prop bet get his interceptions. I would say 0.5, like minus 160. I would assume around that like area. So I'd hit that as always.
He's definitely turning it over. Yeah, so I like that. I'm facing Wentz today too, so fuck him. Let's hope he sucks, Denny Jennings. Fuck your Eagles today, even though I love you.
Matthew Wilder, help. I need 3 of these for my 2 running backs in a flex. This is a PPR league. Singletary, Lindsey, Pope, Ingram, Ballage, and Homer. Just gross, hideous option.
That's bad. So we need
You
you need 3 of these two. Oh my God. All right, Matthew. We're digging in the mud, baby. Pope is my favorite. Oh boy. You can't go both Chargers. Like I would say one of the Chargers is fun to stream this week. You can't have 2 of them in your lineup. So probably Lindsey just has the talent. Like maybe he can rip a long one. Man, Singletary, like, and just hope he catches a couple dinks. That's a horrible. I'm sorry, Matthew. You need the help. I'm glad you capitalized it. I would be leaning Pope, Lindsey, Singletary, I guess. Ingram's like maybe he gets an end zone visit. He's coming back and fires up the troops, but like, I don't know. I'm gonna go Pope, Lindsey, Singletary. Do you have a strong opinion about any of these guys, CJ?
Nope.
Yeah.
Zero,
None that I didn't recommend that you're like, yeah, consider him instead.
No.
Yeah. Sorry, we got not much for you here, Wilder. I'm gonna go Lindsey, Singletary, Pope, and pray and pray for you.
So Viagra, please rank for this week. Half PPR, Rager, Mooney, and Hollywood. 1, 2, 3.
Pretty good all around each other. And this is one of those impossible ones to rank because all these guys rely on the big play. So it's like which big plays get converted.
I'm still on the Hollywood train, especially with how JC Jackson looked last week. Fucking terrible.
Yeah.
And
is Gilmore going to be back tonight?
I think so. I can't see him like shadowing him though. Like he's not that important.
Right. But that's the one like pass. Well, I guess they could take out Andrews and sell it to take out him too. So I don't know. I would have said Rager is the top for me, but the weather has me a little sketched out on that. So I gotta check my ranks. I'm gonna move Rager down a little bit with Alshon coming back with the weather. I think I would have had Rager the highest, but I'm getting a little sketched out on him. Mooney gets the horrible secondary of Minnesota rather, playing the Bears. A new ultimate like shootout style. Like maybe Bill Lazor calling the plays. Like just decides to go crazy and light it up. Oh, I wanted to move up John Brown. Hold on. Let me just do that real quick. Perfect. I'm going to bump down Shepard now that Shepard though in an ugly game is like more of a Shepard day. Like dink, dink, dink.
Like 8 receptions for like 90 yards.
Exactly. So I'm not going to go down on Shepard too hard here. But I do think that hurts Rager. So I'm going to go, I'm going to rank them. This is a tough one. You've put me in a blender here. I know we have a lot of questions, so I can't pause too long on this, but Dylan's one of our long-termers here. I'm going to go Hollywood, then Mooney, then Rager is how I rank them. What are your thoughts, CJ?
I'm good with that.
All righty, folks. And as we're at the 12:15 mark, so just every 20 minutes or so, I'd love to just say any new people watching, if you don't mind giving a thumbs up. Also, if you haven't subscribed on YouTube, did we hit 1,000 this week, CJ? I know we're damn close. We're like right at that mark.
We did. No, we did.
We broke over the barrier. Sweet. Well, thank you, Wolfpack. We're at
we'll be trying to get 10 cents a video.
Yes, exactly. I love that we're celebrating it. Like, obviously, the goal is hundreds of thousands, which we will eventually get to. But hey, every brick by brick, baby. So if you haven't already subscribed on YouTube, notifications so you can know when we're live and we can answer your questions. The boys are here. We're always going to be answering them. So shoot us a like, shoot us a follow, and share this on out with people if you're willing to. Back to your questions with
maybe ask people. I'm rolling with Tua. Battle between the 2 rookies. Pick 5, pick 6. What's it? No idea what's going on.
I don't know what Shady's talking. I hope you're hammered this morning, Shady, because that's what it seems like, and I love it.
Dylan Viagra started Goddard or Hooper. We already had that one.
I'm gonna go Goddard. Even though I do like Hooper this week, I like Goddard just a bit more.
Schmerda, start Fulgham, Rager, or Jefferson?
It's definitely not Rager for me. It's one of the other two, and I personally like, I think Jefferson a bit more. With Alshon back and all that, like it could get I'm gonna go Rager here. I mean, I'm gonna go. Sorry, Jefferson, and
By
avoid
the way,
Eagle.
if the actual Bobby Schmurda is like a fan of us, that'd be hilarious.
That'd be amazing.
Patrick Sullivan, Swift, Edmonds, or Moss?
Maybe Swift. This is tough. That Edmonds would have been the lock, but now we have Drake coming in, and it's getting kind of hideous there. I think I go Swift. What about you, CJ?
Yeah, that I'm avoiding the Cardinals' backfield. I went Swift. I think he is the most.
Zach Moss has scored 3 touchdowns in 2 weeks, so I mean he's intriguing too.
But he's also not getting like enough touches for me yet. I just like touches. And Swift's there for me.
Swift's been right around the 50% snap mark recently, so I could see him really lighting it up the second half of the season. His schedule's a joke, and Washington's not that hard of a matchup today, so I think Swift is my play.
Gerald Robinson, Neil Wolf, one of the AZ backs, gross. DJ, Ayuk, or Balaj in the flex?
Oh, boy. I think I might go Edmonds or Ayuk or DJ Dallas. DJ Dallas, the safest of the running backs. Edmonds has a little bit of a higher ceiling, so I lean Edmonds if I'm going to go running back. Ayuk's right there for me, though. Do you forget all the running backs and go Ayuk here, CJ, or do you pick one of these running backs?
I think I would go DJ. Yeah, I think I'd go DJ here.
He's definitely – I mean, he's a great bet for a touchdown. I personally lean Edmonds just slightly, but Ayuk really could go fucking nuts today if you need that flex blow-up, Gerald. I'm leaning Edmonds. CJ leans DJ. If you need the huge ceiling, I think Ayuk has the biggest ceiling of them all.
Tunes have high hopes for Duke to take over the next 3 weeks.
I could sure use it too. So, Tunes, let's go Duke, baby. I love it. We'll light up a tree for him later in his honor for sure.
Frazier, Mac 94, start one of Hunt, Gio, Duke, or Fournette.
It comes down, man, not Fournette. I like the Carolina matchup, but that backfield is hideous, Frazier. So I'm leaning, I want to say Hunt just because of that easy matchup. But if you want the every down back, I prefer Bernard to Duke. But I lean Hunt here. What are your thoughts, Siege?
Yeah, I can't argue with that. Sebastian Alex, who do I start at the flex? DJ Moore, Mooney, or Swift?
Ooh, I think I'm going to go Swift. I'm going to go there to the running back there. It looks like we got 20 minutes and we got a shitload of questions. So I want to give you guys good in-depth answers, but I'm also going to try to like rapid fire here.
Juan Pena, should I start Kirk or Bernard or Samuel at the flex? And should I take out Juju and Claypool and plug Kirk in and then plug in Bernard at the flex?
I would have Bernard at the flex. And if you're starting 2 Steelers, I think I would bench Juju and put Kirk in. That's how I'm doing that one.
Mike Clay got Duke in 2 leagues, one with CMC, the other Mixon. I like him, but give me.
Yep, he's just saying he loves Duke, and I totally agree. Snaps, 20 touches, love that. 3 weeks now of it. I'm a big fan, Mike.
The Pope is questionable with a concussion. Are you still leaning him?
If he's in, but yeah, I guess that's something to monitor. But he's been practicing in full, so to me, I think he's in.
If he's playing, he's playing.
Yeah.
Jair, higher ceiling, full PPR. Ayuk or Josh Reynolds versus the Flash Seahawks defense. Squad is on a bye this week.
Definitely Ayuk, higher ceiling. Reynolds is your third option. Could he catch a bomb TD? Sure. I mean, that's what he does. But yeah, Ayuk has a much higher ceiling.
Giuseppe, Goddard, Ingram.
I like Goddard. I mean, Ingram he's right up there. I don't know. This is a tough one because Ingram's starting to turn it around. He's like third in targets at the position. I have Ingram 5 and Goddard 6. I'm leaning Ingram.
Me too. Fitz, Rojo, Gallman, Balaj.
Gallman. Can you look up? I'll rip through some questions. You want to look up Devonta Freeman, see if we have any news on him, and also maybe guys check Pope as well. Now that we have a concussion on him, and he's my most hyped guy of the day. Not that hyped up, but still, I do love his name being Pope. But Gallman, if we don't have Freeman, if we do have Freeman, it's Rojo just because of the Carolina matchup.
Freeman's out as of 14 hours ago.
Oh, okay. So he is. I looked this morning. I didn't find that. Okay. So
Yeah.
Freeman is out. Let me just make sure I have him out of my rankings real quick, folks. And I'm just going to tell you where Gallman ends up with that officially confirmed. I think I ranked it as if Gallman was already like the clear. Yeah. So Freeman is out of my rankings. And then I have Gallman 24 right below Fournette, right above Ronald Jones. So I go Gallman there. Yeah. Perfect.
I'm not seeing anything about Pope, so I think we're good here.
Okay, cool. Toon says he's going to go Ayuk over Reynolds. I agree. That was for Billy Jiggs. Need one. Balaj, Hooper, Green, Harris. Probably Harris. Is Sony going to be activated tonight?
No, and he actually could go on full season IR if he's unactivated next week. So hopefully that happens.
That's true.
David Glass, standard flex, pick one. Gallman, Henderson, Kirk, Slayton.
I like Kirk there. I think Kirk. Norman's going to be out. Give me Kirk.
Shady ass, would you start Smoke over Claypool while being a Diggs owner?
No. I'd go Claypool.
Smoky. SL, I have no choice. I'm stuck with Jagger Edmonds. I also have McKissick on my bench. I would probably go McKissick.
I'd go McKissick over Drake, but I have Edmonds higher than all of them, so I'm going to go Edmonds.
Hillary from the clouds. Derek Carr or Cam Newton?
Don't like either of these at all.
Who drafted for this one?
I think Julie had no. This is for another team. She had Dak as well. So we've got ugly pickups here. I'm going to go Derek Carr and think that game potentially shoots out. Let's go Carr here.
Art form. Ingram, Harris, Pope. Pick one.
Pope if he's in.
Van
Deventer, the fullback. Gotta get Van Deventer.
PPR, Gallman, Drake, AB, Chark. Jennings, Carr, Tunes, loves Sundays. Same. Mike Reed, Gio or Edmonds?
Gio.
He looks like a poor man's Nate Berry.
That looks like Nate Berry. Oh yeah, it does kind of look like Nate Berry.
Steve Hernandez, flex, Gio or AB?
I'm going Bernard for sure.
Shade, standard scoring, Higgins or Hollywood. Also Lamar or Burrow.
Lamar locked in over Burrow, and then I go Higgins over Hollywood.
Hernandez, good morning. Good morning, sir. Lance Davis, Rodgers or Kyler? I think I would trade one.
Trade one, but Kyler for this week, definitely with the win there.
Mike Clay wins, blah, blah.
So he's saying it's not too much of an issue because the direction of it. Oh, Freeman's on IR. So a lot of people, thank you guys, answering my questions. So Freeman's on IR. Oh, so he's on IR. Wow. A lot of questions about him going to the IR. So that's big for Gallman moving forward.
We literally have like 100 questions left.
We'll keep getting there.
Sarno, sup? Revisiting my Thursday half-point PPR. Sit one. Ayuk, Rager, Hollywood.
I'm sitting Riger with the wins. I'm just gonna sit Riger there.
My man, the Wolf.
Good to see you.
Sean Miller, Patrick Rager, Bourne. Thank you, Dave Mock. Sucks. We both agree on that.
I love the sign off to every question here for Sean Miller. Total agreement. Tim Patrick is the highest floor by far of those guys.
Mike Clay, Jacksonville, Green Bay,
more weather
updates.
A lot of weather updates for everybody. So yeah, just be careful, cautious of Jacksonville, Green Bay, Cincy, Pitt, and then we also got Cleveland, Houston with a lot of wins.
Christina, Cup, Judy, Claypool, Hunt, Hollywood. Pick one.
I like Cup the most. By Hunt is really close there actually. Cup and Hunt are really close, but I like Cup in that Seahawks shootout.
Clay, Freeman on the IR.
Oh yeah, perfect.
Hey, CJ, queue up the great odds.
Oh, yeah. Pull up your props real quick. I know we have a million questions.
I don't know if we even have time for that.
All right. So if you guys do like props, they're on our Instagram page. We won't run through them all.
Yeah, they're on our Facebook too.
Facebook and Instagram. So YouTubers, if you want some good props, check us out on Facebook or Instagram. We've been money. The record's like, 70% almost right now. So keep it up.
TS, Cooks, Deontay, Judy, AB or Slayton for one. Pick one.
I think I'm going Deontay here. They're all so close there, but I'm going to go Deontay.
Mike Clay, sit one with the weather in mind. Mike Clay's all about the weather today. Char, Claypool, Higgins, Ayuk.
I think Ayuk's my least favorite of them, but if you're worried with the weather, I would bench Higgins.
Shitty ass Lamar Miller is playing on it. Gross.
Yeah, he's on the Bears.
He didn't even know he was on the Bears.
Yep. He could be a back-end bench stash, I guess, for really, really, really deep leagues. Do I roll with Tunyon or gamble on Rudolph? I'd probably stick with Tunyon. But yeah, it's getting ugly. I would probably go Tunyon though.
Sam Joshi, Judy, Williams, or AB.
I'm gonna go Judy there. My favorite of those options.
Joel, looking at setting up my running backs, my flex. I have Davis, Bay, Henderson, my flex.
I don't know. This is a long one. Running backs: Davis, Henderson, Moss. I like Davis the most. Flex. So I would go Chark out of the flex options there over the running backs too.
Fella, full PPR, Goddard, Hooper, Ebron.
I like Goddard the most of these guys. Ebron's real close, though. I have him literally 7 to Goddard 6.
Karen, Gibson, or Mike Davis?
I have Gibson higher. I know CJ has Mike Davis higher.
Lance, Balaj, or Drake?
Oh, to Balaj. Ew.
Like Clay, he feels you on Parker.
Oh, so he's adding Parker into there. I have Parker. You got to sit 2. I would sit Ayuk and Higgins and get Parker in there. That's a really tough question, though, Mike. Those guys are all so similar. You got to trust your gut, honestly. Let us know who you go. I would personally go Claypool, Chark, Parker, but it's a gut call. There's no evidence to go one or the other.
Russ, Claypool, or Regor?
Claypool, definitely for me.
Ty, Cousins, or Daniel Jones?
Never Daniel. Well, Cousins is, I guess, one reason to consider Daniel Jones, but never Daniel Jones. Cousins.
Lance Davis, what would you need in a trade to give away Kamara? Everyone wants him. Don't give him away.
Yeah, don't give him away. You would need like a horse. You need like a Robinson plus another good receiver or something like that. I wouldn't give him away.
Jay Almighty, I have Hopkins and Adams. Do I play Murray or Rodgers?
Murray, definitely.
Mike Clay, AB, or Deontay?
Deontay.
Russ, Godwin, Claypool, Rager, Flex. I think we just answered that.
Yeah, Claypool.
Sarah, half point PPR, Robbie, Swift, Fulgham, or Jefferson?
I think I go Robbie. It's close, but I go Robbie there.
Young Sheik, Rager, or AB?
AB, but don't love it.
John Harper, what's up? I need 2 receivers and a flex. Thielen, Anderson, Claypool, Kirk, Robinson, pick 3.
I'm going to go Thielen, Anderson, Claypool. Allen Robinson at the back end there. I'm going to go Robinson at the top, then Thielen, then – actually, I think I'm going to go Thielen, Anderson Robinson, Thielen, Claypool is where I'm going with that one.
No venison breakfast, but I had venison stew last night.
Hey,
send some over. Johnny Vickers, PPR Flex, Parker, Henderson, Kirk.
I go Parker. Very big into Parker this week.
Campanelli, standard bonuses, Judy or DJ?
DJ Dallas for me. Touchdown.
Alex, Gibson, Hunt, Duke.
Damn, great options. Then you can only pick one. I'm going to go Gibson. Kareem Hunt's real close. Duke's real close, but I'm going to go Gibson there.
One Pena, Kirk, Bernard, Samuel.
Bernard for me.
Wilder, I would play Kirk and Gio today. I agree.
Oh, and for the flex as well. So yeah, I like Kirk as well. So Kirk and Bernard for me as well. Shit, says Lance Davis. Sorry.
I agree. Lance Davis.
I knew my answer, bro. Are those guys friends, or is that just like great trash talk?
Against Tunes? Hey, that's our guy. SL, Drake, Edmonds, McKissick.
Edmonds. Oh yeah, we've already talked about that one a lot.
Sarah Raleigh, Gibson, Swift.
Gibson, definitely.
Mateo, pick 1. Parker, Shepard, Williams, Moore, Samuel.
And I can only pick one. And you gave me everybody. I'm gonna go Parker there. I like Parker. You can, Mateo, you can limit that more. You can cross off a few people. Come on.
Andrew McGrady, Gio, or Fournette?
Gio for sure, definitely.
Minnie Jordan, good morning. Choose a flex. Deontay, Chark, DJ, AB.
I'm going to go Chark.
Martin Broadhurst, full PPR. Samuel McKinnon, Rojo. Start 2 of these.
Samuel McKinnon, benching Jones.
Seamus.
Seamus.
It's pick is Fire Flames.
Love it.
My lineup is good to go. Looking for the first place today. You're fabulous.
You're so fabulous, Seamus. Thank you so much. The original super fan of the site. We love you, Seamus. Thank you so much for always tuning in. Let's get another title in that cabinet, baby. I love it.
Mateo, full PPR. Who you starting today? Parker's in. Shepard, DJ Morrison.
So if it's just one of those guys, I like Samuel the most.
Dylan, I have Teddy B as my primary quarterback in a must-win week. Should I pick up Baker's bitch ass off the waiver wire?
Nah, fuck. Screw Baker, especially with the weather. So I'm done with that.
Beatty, Mike Williams, Fuller, Curtis Samuel, AB, DJ. Pick 3, sit 1.
Fuller is definitely in. I think Curtis Samuel has to be a lock at this point. And I don't love having 2 Panthers in. So out of those 3, I think Mike Willie go for the long bomb touchdown.
ARS is Drake playing today? Yes, he is.
They're very optimistic at minimum.
Jair, Jason Reed, or
Jordan Reed, I'm guessing. Never Jordan Reed. Trust me. I'll go break Jordan Reed's face before I ever recommend him.
Sit one of Lockett, Juju, Fulham.
I would
sit 2, actually.
Pick 2. I'd pick Lockett and Fuller, personally.
The end. How many touchdowns will Angry Tom Brady throw? He'll throw 2.
4.
Rob the half-point PPR, Godwin and DJ.
Definitely Godwin for me. I'm not into DJ Moore.
His finger is fucking gross, by the way. Yeah. Sean Miller, all right, Giuseppe, how many damn decisions do you have? Aiden Rodriguez, I have Duke, Swift, McKissick, Chase Edmonds. Who do I play? Please help.
I think to me it's Duke. I'm going to go with the Duke love this week. I'm riding it out. Does he have Gibson too? I don't know. If you have Gibson, Gibson's my favorite. If not, then Duke is the best options.
Phantom Gaming. I don't know if I should start Rodgers because I heard the weather is going to be shitty.
Go Rodgers over Teddy. Yeah, you go Rodgers over Teddy for sure.
Shady ass. Steven Sims last week, close to nothing, 1 interception. I think he gets more work this week. Yeah.
Got to get weekly pumping for Steven Sims. There you go.
I'm not buying anything that's to do with fucking broken legs. Mitchell Chavez, wide receiver flyer for DFS.
I like I'm going Devontae Parker as like a low owned 5K. He's not like your punt play, but yeah. Lance Davis definitely making sure he'll never get a question answered again by begging for answers. So go screw yourself tuning into a free show, and then unless you're talking trash to tune in.
Yeah, I think he's talking to someone else.
Yes, I hope so. I hope that's a joke, Mr. Davis, because we have had some douchebags tune in and be like, "Why aren't you answering?" That's the quickest way to never get anything answered again.
Sorry, I'll finish Queens in 20 hours. Great show.
It is a great show. Absolutely. Queens.
Fuller, Henderson, or Rojo?
I like Fuller the most of those guys.
Force here, pick 1 running back, 1 receiver, and 2 flex. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
That's too much. Not doing it right now. Too many questions.
Pick 1 receiver and a flex. Fulgham, Kirk, McKissick, Rager. Pick 2.
I'm gonna go Kirk and Fulgham. McKissick's close, but I think this is Gibson week.
Joey Carnaghi, Fulgham, or Jefferson?
I'm gonna go Jefferson.
Herbert or Lamar?
I'm gonna go Herbert. I love Herbert.
Devonte Adams, Pope or Balaj?
Flip a coin, but I personally lean Pope.
Shady ass. What's your Rojo thoughts?
Running back 25 for me, shady ass for Rojo. The shit matchup is nice, but still, he's like I can't trust him really.
Bars in the tuck. Good morning. I was able to flip Boba. Now I need a flex. Fulgham,
great trade, by the way. That's great. Well done. And of these guys, DJ Dallas. DJ Dallas is the best bet for a touchdown.
GMB, Rager, Malcolm Brown, DJ.
DJ Dallas. Yeah, DJ Dallas, definitely. Yes, there we go. Road to 100K. I appreciate it. Should I take the chance? Yeah.
Should I take the chance and wait for A-Rob Monday or play Ayuk?
A-Rob's questionable, but he seems like he's good to go. I would play A-Rob. Have a backup. Have Mooney on your bench as a backup, but yeah. You're in good shape. I would play A-Rob.
Orbits, Gio or JD McKissick?
Gio for sure. Anytime Gio's the starter, you got to go Gio.
Dad, DJ or Zach Moss?
DJ. I love the sure bet for a touchdown.
Detroit Rams starting my flex. Evans, DJ, Jacoby, Gallman.
That's tricky. I feel like I want to go Evans and fucked up, pissed off Brady mode, but Dallas is the safest play.
Tom doesn't give a fuck about him.
I know. I'm going to go Dallas as the safest option. Evans as the ceiling play, but Dallas is my preference here.
Sean Miller, Patrick Bornrager,
Patrick.
Galani, Andrews, Font, or Gronk? Fant.
Font. I think I'm going to go with Fant. No Fant.
Flex spot. Ayuk, Jefferson, Edmonds.
I go Edmonds. Jefferson.
Patel, Tua, or Wentz?
Wentz, but it's gross, so I don't know. The weather's gonna fuck a lot of this shit up, but I have Wentz higher.
Omar, Andrews, or Hawk?
Hawkinson for sure. Safer.
Taylor, Samuel, or Deontay?
Deontay. Close, but Deontay.
Dylan Adams, Gallman, Pope, Balaj. Fuck me.
Gallman. Gallman's the safest bet. We got IR, Freeman. They're gonna just unload Gallman and let's see what he can do.
Swift is making his first actual start.
Ooh, it's good to note. Maybe they're going to turn these reins over. That's just like another note for Swift.
The coaching staff in history of coaching staff.
The worst coaching staff ever, yes. But that's a good note. Thank you, Jeremiah.
Grabbers Inc. Should I start? Higgins, Hollywood, Jacoby.
I go Higgins there.
Mark Andronetti, AB, Chark, Shep, or Rager.
Pick two. Chark's the lock, and then Shepard's my next pick. We got a nice little heart from Sean. Thank you.
Frazier, Mac, should I trade Hunt and Zeke for Jones and CEH?
I would go.
Yes, I would do that.
Yeah, if you're getting Aaron Jones, it's a no-brainer. Absolutely smash that.
AJ Brown, shit the bed. I need a flex for half PPR. Deontay, Landry, or Rigor.
I got to go Deontay. Love you guys. Hate my team. I love you, Roos. Thanks for tuning in. Deontay definitely has the upside and probably a higher floor than those guys.
Taylor, forgot to add Parker in that question.
I like Parker the most then. I'm really into Parker this week.
Gallman, Gio.
Gio for sure for me.
Fant or Hooper?
Fant.
Seabass, Cooks or Jacoby?
The weather's giving me second thoughts. I'm going to go Jacoby Seabass.
Bear Flex, pick one. Landry, Ayuk, Claypool for Ali Ellis.
I'm going to go Ayuk. No, Claypool. I'm going to go Claypool there.
The Wizard, Homer or DJ?
DJ, definitely the better bet at the touchdown.
Another gaming profile. Pick two. Boyd, Claypool, Ayuk, Fulgham.
I'm going to go Boyd and Claypool. If you're very worried about the weather, though, then Ayuk is close to those guys. But I like Boyd and Claypool.
Karn, need one at the flex. Fulgham, Juju, John Brown.
I'm going to go Juju.
Pat Sullivan.
Thomas or Hooper? I like Hooper.
Max Newman, Watson, or Big Ben?
I'm gonna go Watson. I know the weather's fucking sketch.
Watson's been good. Watson's been good recently.
He's been really good. He could run some in. The weather's tricky, but I'm gonna stick to Watson there.
He just corrected himself.
Oh, gotcha.
Jeff Marcus, I thought this was no brainer, but John Brown, AB, Chark, Evans need two.
It is a no-brainer. It's Chark and Evans. You stick with those two. Until AB really shows it, I'm not too worried about that.
I'm on John Brown this week. Shady ass people, Swift was announced the starter this week. Fire him up.
Yeah, it's true. That's a big note if they really unleash him.
Sean, Cantlin, Ayuk, or Jefferson?
I have Jefferson just a little bit higher, but I mean Ayuk's ceiling probably higher myself. But I go Jefferson personally.
Anthony Nardella, two running backs in a flex. Gio, Henderson, McKinnon, Mike Williams. He's leaning off.
I'm going to bench Williams there. I'm going to go all three running backs. I like. They all have good.
I saw some note that McKinnon might have a nice workout this week. His knees might not be tired anymore.
Yeah, the tired legs. Oh, fucking sickening.
Tyler, Kirk, or Deontay?
Kirk. Oh man, that's tough though. I think I have Deontay higher in my
rating.
I
think I go Deontay there.
Oh man, that's a really tough one. But I like Kirk. I think Kirk's scoring a long one today.
Fusion, AB, or Judy?
Judy for me.
Chavez, Gallman, Gio, Gordon, pick two.
I think I'm gonna bench Melvin. I don't know. It's an easy matchup versus the Raiders, though. Like, I'm probably
Gio, Gordon.
Yeah, Gio's my lock, and then I'm gonna go Gordon. He'll find the end zone against the Raiders.
Greg Churkin. I need 2 of these. Drake, Rager, Higgins, Landry.
Higgins is by far my favorite, and then it gets kind of tough, Greg.
I go Landry, I think.
I mean, in an ugly game where they need short passes, maybe Landry, yeah, but I might just go for the upside of Rager at that point. I think I'm going to go Higgins, Rager. CJ says Higgins, Landry if you want the safe option.
Rob King, McKinnon, or Myers?
I think McKinnon's in line for some nice work today. Even if they get blown out, he's the pass-catching guy, so I like that one for sure.
Broderick Forcier, pick 2, AB, Mooney, Moss, Edmonds.
Leaning Edmonds, and I think I'm going to go with the running backs, especially non-PPR. I'm going to go Edmonds and Moss here. Both blow-up receiver potential, but that's so tricky to project.
Jonathan Whitaker, flex, Gibson, AB, Ayuk, Jefferson, Parker. Some nice options.
A lot of great options. Gibson's my personal favorite. Devontae would be my next favorite.
Jack O'Donnell, Henderson, or Ayuk?
I'm going to go Ayuk. I really think this could be a blow-up. I have owner bias. I will give you that, but I like Ayuk a lot.
Rob King, Lockett, Godwin?
Lockett. I think Lockett with Ramsey on DK, Lockett could be in for a really big day today.
Karn, Moss, or DJ Dallas?
I'm going to go DJ Dallas. Safer bet for volume and touchdowns. Even though Moss has been an end zone monster these last couple of weeks. Give me DJ.
Omar, Stafford, or pivot to Tua or Locke?
I like Locke. I like Locke in that matchup. Denver's secondary, not very good. The Raiders against Denver, rather. And that game could be a sneaky shootout. So I like
Stafford's turned in kind of a bum.
Yeah, he really has. No
dirty money, Lindsey or Jamal Williams?
I'm gonna go Lindsey, but man, it could become, if they take it easy on what's his name, Aaron Jones, Williams could be in for a big day against Jacksonville. But I like Lindsey personally.
Joel, pick one. Samuel, Moss, Balaj, Cooks.
I'm gonna go. We can only pick one here. Oh, maybe Moss, half PPR. I like Samuel. I have a hard time benching Samuel the way he's rolling. Cooks would be the no-brainer if the weather was fine, but I kind of like Samuel. I don't want to bench him right now. Goddard or Reed is definitely Goddard. I don't even want to waste time on that. Locke or Ben? I think Locke this week. What do you think, CJ?
Yeah, Big Ben has that injury that's gonna fucking spook him for the rest of the year. I'm going Locke.
Yeah,
he's gonna be limping around the field all day.
Yes.
Last one: Judy, Cooks, Sterling Shepard.
I like Judy here. I do. I go Judy over Cooks this week.
Samuel, I think you just answered this.
Oh yeah, Samuel Moss are really close. Cooks should be a lock if the weather was okay. Tough. This weather's really screwed you over, Joel. From the easy answer, I personally like Samuel. I just want to keep riding him the way he's rolling right now.
Karn, the running back situation against the Rams looks tough.
It's always the Rams is like decent against the run, but they actually allow like a good yard per clip because they get up the field so fast. I could see it's all about the touchdowns with Dallas. That's why we're playing him. Alrighty, folks, that brings us to like 15 minutes left, and we have to get our own lineups just finalized, set, looking pretty. So, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. This was a blast. I think this probably set the comments record if we go back and counted them. This definitely hit 200, probably approached 300. You guys are the best, Wolfpack. Thank you so much for tuning in. Best of luck in Week 10. Let us know how it's going. I will be live right around 7:30 when Red Zone wraps up for our post-game tailgate with the truth. So be live there. Come on back to the show. Check it on out with us. Any parting? I guess we could show your props real quick, CJ.
I was just about to go put some in.
Yeah. So let's we'll show you CJ's props real fast. And then we will be signing off for you. So let us go to those. Share the screen. Week 10 props to hammer. Boom. That's not it. Hold on. I know you're getting your props.
I kind of went juicy on the quarterbacks this week. But,
I like the quarterback ones too.
Kyler over 1.5 touchdown passes, Herbert over 1.5 touchdown passes, and Rodgers over 7 rushing yards. He's been weirdly running for like 15 to 20 yards a week.
Money stuff there.
Antonio Gibson, this is the biggest one of the week, I think. Antonio Gibson over 45.5 rushing yards. Aaron Jones over 22 receiving yards. That's down from what he usually is. Nick Chubb to score a touchdown. They're going to want to get their guy back into action.
Both great. All those guys, great bets. Love them all.
Devonte Adams over. I didn't really love the receivers this week, but Devonte Adams over 6.5 receptions. Good for 8, I think. Woods over 5.5 receptions. Hopefully he gets through those little dumb passes they do in the goal line. Devontae Parker over 4.5 receptions and Samuel over 4.5 receptions.
I think especially Samuel with those odds are great. He's such a magnet on third downs, so I love it.
And then I always go Hawkinson to score a touchdown. He just keeps making me money. And then Hooper to score a touchdown too. Wasn't really fun. A lot of the pass catchers this week, I feel like Vegas is somewhat like caught on to props a little bit more than they have in a while. So everything's kind of inflated. So it's made it a little more tough. But
the weather's brutal too. We got these quick ones came in too. Goddard or Ebron. I lean Goddard, but again, tight end 6, tight end 7, like right next to each other. And Goddard's definitely a bit riskier because we haven't seen it yet. But I like Goddard's upside there. Keegan, but don't ever yell help again, or we'll never help you again if that type of demand comes in. Thank you, 909. Good luck to you. The Vic asked Gio or Fulgham. I love Gio anytime he starts, so I'm going to roll with him. And Will Fuller or Scary Terry for Shawshank Kumar. Scary Terry today. One of the easiest cornerback matchups. He's been on fire. You got to keep rolling with him. Alrighty, Wolfpack. That wraps us up. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Best of luck.
We do have a little note from the Duckling.
What the Duckling say?
Per Jason Lockenford, Dobbins is going to be given the opportunity to emerge in the Ravens' backfield this week.
Really? Okay.
Although Lockenford, I fucking hate him. I think he's an idiot. But.
Lockenford can be an idiot, so I don't know about that one. But it's just a little side note that you can maybe bump up like Dobbins slightly above the rest of that crap pack. But I'll believe that when I fucking see it. This type of shit, begging for the answer. Come on, I was the last guy. One more. Give us a please, Joshua. Use your manners.
Come on, Josh.
Use your manners, Josh. I'll answer your question.
Oh, and he's a Bills Mafia guy.
Bills Mafia guy. Give us those manners. Say please. No, I'm just kidding. I won't make you beg. Pick 2, John Brown, Kirk, Kareem. He said please. I was just joking with you, brother. I would bench John Brown there. Kareem Hunt and Kirk.
Oh my God. John Brown's my guy this week.
Yeah. You would play John Brown over Kirk?
Yeah.
Nah, I go Kirk, Kareem. For me, it's pretty easy. I guess John Brown for CJ, but Kirk, Kareem is my play, Joshua. So yeah, of course, you're welcome. Thank you for tuning in and catching that last second question. Best of luck, guys. We hope we nail our predictions for you. Either way, come vent to us if we get it wrong on the post-game tailgate tonight. We will see you live at 7:30. You guys are the best Wolfpack. Best of luck week 10. Let's win some money. Let's win our leagues, and we'll see you later.
See ya.